Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Inferno Man here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, as I mentioned earlier this week, I'm kind of trying to downplay a little bit more of the Omen Pass, only just because, again, I'm kind of burned out from the spider thing. But there is technically one card that actually did catch my eye from the set that I thought, this is actually kind of a cool card, and it actually gives me an excuse to once again play yet another artifact deck. But what card exactly are we talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into it right now and explain to you exactly what we're going to be playing today. So with that, we're rolling on in right now. And, oh, there we are. Yay. Okay, so from the Omen Pass / Spider-Man set, we will be playing with today Fizik Etherium Mechanic here. Let's see if our opponents can counter this, if you will. Obviously, we could not get, of course, in the actual arena, the Iron Spider. Actually, kind of a shame, too. I actually did think that art was actually kind of cool, which is why we used it on the thumbnail. But you kind of get the idea if you've seen the card. In any case, we'll go over this as we normally do. We'll go over the stats of the deck. For those of you who are new to this, we'll explain to you every single card in this budget deck, of course. We'll then play as many matches as we can for the first half of the live stream on budget form. And if you do like the deck, and maybe you want to take it to the next level, we'll definitely then do an upgraded version of the deck halfway through the stream, which you can check out later on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this right now. Long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So our counter this deck is going to be all colorless. So that's, well, I guess it's kind of self-explanatory. But in any case, we'll be, of course, playing this with a colorless twist to it. We're going to be rocking a total of 30 creatures in the deck. We have only a single instant, a single sorcery, 55 artifacts. That's actually a lot of artifacts, by the way. And then we'll be rocking, of course, 40 lands. So, as I mentioned earlier, Fizik Etherium Mechanic is going to be our main star of the show with this one. And, of course, that means that we're going to be trying to put out there as many colorless artifacts to pump this creature up and do its thing. Speed Monkey Gaming, hello, hi. Hi there, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining me today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So you're just in time right now. We're going to be actually going over the actual deck itself, and then we'll kind of go from there. So, starting off, of course, for those of you who haven't seen this card, Fizik Etherium Mechanic. Again, well, this is also the, Iron Spider in Spider-Man set. Still a cool card, though. So, legendary artifact creature, Spider Hero. It has a vigilance. It's a 2/3. You tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact and or vehicle you control. So this will pump up our whole team. Literally, it's going to be carrying everything we want to do today. And for 2 mana and removing 2 +1/+1 counters from among artifacts we control, draw a card. So Fizik actually is kind of self-contained. Once we start putting a bunch of counters on a lot of our artifacts, our creatures, and vehicles, we can then pluck them off when we need to later on. We have some extra mana to simply start drawing cards. What's nice, of course, is by doing this ability, you don't have a limit on how much counters you can do to draw cards. So that means, again, if you have, like, say 4 mana open and you got a bunch of +1/+1 counters, you actually can draw 2 cards if you like to. And it's also done at instant speed. So that's actually really nice for this card. So what exactly are we going to be building around to make sure Fizik gets the most value? So going to be throwing out a lot of artifacts, a lot of artifact creatures, and as many budget vehicles as possible. So starting at the 0 drop slot here, Mishra's Bauble here, simply just put for a card draw. Our first 0 free card is going to be Ornithopter here, 0 flying 2. Doesn't do, of course, any damage until we start putting +1/+1 counters on it, so it'll be great in the sky. Tormod's Crypt is going to be our free graveyard hate card for us. In the 1 drop slot, we'll have Fountain Bell here, and it enters, put out a basic land. And of course, we'll be able to then utilize this later on to sacrifice it and draw a card. Ginger Brute here is one of our free, early creatures here. Food Golem has haste. If we pay the 1, we then make sure it's unblockable unless another creature has haste. So it's great for us to force through damage. Iron Apprentice here, also another amazing card for us. This little construct enters the +1/+1 counter. If this creature, however, dies, you get to put those +1/+1 counters on any creature we control. So this is actually good if you start stacking a bunch of them on there. So then you can just pass them off to another creature. Your Scrappling here, you can sacrifice this creature at instant speed to put the +1/+1 counter on another creature we control. Null Elemental Blast here, a colorless spell that allows us to destroy a multicolored spell, or we can counter a multicolored spell. It's actually really sweet for us as, of course, the game progresses. Most likely we'll be facing off a lot of multicolored decks, so 9 times out of 10 this is actually pretty useful for us. Retrofitter Foundry here. This is also one of our big workhorses for the deck because this will help build out our artifact creature army here. So you can then utilize this to untap, and then you can start tapping it to create servos or Thopters later on once you sacrifice servos. If you sacrifice Thopters, you can get constructs out of it. So slow but steady, this will help us, of course, win the game. Sparring Construct here. When this creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature we control. So you can start passing off creature counters to other things. Stone of Eric here, another layer to stack up our graveyard hate for us. If a creature an opponent controls would die, you get to exile it. Speed Monkey Gaming, what game is this? This is Magic the Gathering Arena. So this is based on the trading card game Magic the Gathering. If you haven't seen it before, it is actually growing a lot more in popularity over the past couple years. Actually, it's been out for quite a while, but we'll be playing the digital version for today. It is free to play if you're interested in it, and you'll see in a little bit how it all works. Vexing Bauble here. So we throw this one in here. If a player is trying to play free spells, we can counter the spell. So this is mostly in here just to make sure other decks are a little bit more on the fair side, if you will. Wayfarer's Bauble here. You then put this in and then sacrifice it later on to then pull out a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. So it just helps us with our ramp. Hanger Backwalker and Market Backwalker, both of these cards are really awesome for us. With the Hanger Backwalker, once we start putting +1/+1 counters on it, if it dies, you get to create X amount of Thopters, so this of course can help us go wide as you start putting more counters on it. Whereas the Market Backwalker, if this creature of course dies with +1/+1 counters, you get to draw a card for each counter that was added to it. So this is actually pretty sweet for us to help us of course just make our plan work. In the 2-drop slot, we'll utilize here Automated Artificer here. You then utilize this as kind of like a mana dork. We have Collector's Vault here. Use this to draw cards and discard cards to create treasure tokens to help us just kind of filter through our deck. Ecologist Terranium here. Another one of our cards that helps us kind of do some ramping. When it enters, you can dig out a basic land, put it into our hand. Later on, you could sacrifice it to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control. Although you can do that at a sorcery speed, so that means a little slow. It still works for us for what our game plan is. Environmental Science here, our sorcery that allows us also to dig out a basic land and put it into our hand, and we can gain 2 life off of it. Guardian Idol here, this card will enter tapped. However, of course, it'll be one of our mana rocks that can also convert itself into a creature. High Speed Hover Bike here, although it doesn't do much on its own, this can of course get stacked up with a bunch of counters thanks to Fizik here, but the real reason you want this card is it has flash, it has flying, and when this vehicle enters, you can tap down 1 target creature. So kind of good for us as a bit of a tempo play. Idol of the False Gods here, this is a kindred artifact here that's Eldrazi. You can use this of course to create some Eldrazi spawns, which will help us with our game plan and ramping out. However, of course, when the Eldrazi we control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this artifact. If this artifact has 8 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it becomes a 0/0 creature in addition to its other type with Annihilator 2. So it's actually amazing for us once we take the time to build it up. It that heralds the end here, an Eldrazi drone. This technically doesn't really help us out with the artifact plan, but it kind of also helps us with ramping. Colorless spells we cast with a mana value of 7 or greater cost 1 less to cast, and other colorless creatures we control get +1/+1. So it kind of helps us with the pump, even though technically it's not an artifact. Mindstone here, again for more ramping, just put this in, taps down for colorless, you can sacrifice it later on to draw a card. Monoskellion here actually is one of our more bigger important pieces to the deck. This creature will enter with a +1/+1 counter. You can then play 1, remove a +1/+1 counter to deal 1 damage to any target. So this may not seem like it's much right now, but if we can start building up a bunch of counters on it, this actually will get really, really big once we start getting everything going. So that actually is pretty sweet for us. Murasire here. With this, when this creature dies, we have to create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexy mirror artifact creature token. This of course dies, and of course it can just replace itself. Ornithopter of Paradise also is here, mostly just again as another way to help us with the ramping package. We have Patchwork Automation here, or actually Automaton. So 2 mana with War 2 built in, so it has its own little protection, which is cute. When you cast an artifact spell, you get a +1/+1 counter on the creature, so this can help build itself up and actually become bigger and bigger as the game progresses. Steel Overseer here. This is also one of our biggest pieces here that also does almost the exact same thing as Fizik here. So with Steel Overseer, you can tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact creature we control. So this stacked up with Fizik can go really big and hopefully just overwhelm our opponent once we get that value going. Volatile Servant here. At the beginning of your end step, you untap target artifact. So this may not seem like it does much, but with our game plan here, you can use this to, of course, untap Fizik or untap, say, Steel Overseer, and then start putting more counters on our game plan. So this is actually really good for us as the game progresses. Swiftfoot Boots here. This is, again, for protection purposes, so you can equip this to any one of our creatures to give it hexproof and haste, meaning that, again, it cannot be targeted by spells or abilities. Great for us. In the 3-drop slot, we'll have Circuit Mender here. When this creature enters, gain 3 life. When it leaves the battlefield, so that means it doesn't have to die, but if it does, you get to draw a card. Adventurous Airship here. This is another one of our vehicles here. Whenever this vehicle attacks, draw a card and then discard a card. Oh, you just subscribed? Well, thanks again for that, Speed Monkey Gaming. I appreciate that. Thanks again for that. And again, hopefully you'll have some fun once we start getting this going on. I really enjoyed your content. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that as well. All right, where was I at? Oh yeah, that's right. We got to continue, of course, on. Well, then we'll get into the games in just a moment, everybody. So, Chief of the Foundry here. Other artifact creatures we control get a +1/+1 pump. So this is mostly just, again, another lord that just helps us with the game plan. Cloud Key here. As this artifact enters, choose an artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, or sorcery. Obviously, we're going to be picking artifact with this, so this means spells of the chosen type will be one less to cast. So this helps us again with ramping. Filigree Familiar here. When this creature enters, gain 2 life. When it dies, just simply draw a card. So just again for protection purposes, health, and all that stuff. Foundry Inspector, artifact spells in general will cost 1 less to cast. So this is actually great for us, of course, to help us make sure that we can just make our game plan work faster. Glaring Fleshraker here. It's not an artifact, but however, it is a colorless creature, which of course goes with our game plan. Every time we cast a colorless spell, which of course is all of our artifacts, we get to create a 0/1 Eldrazi spawn creature token, which we can sacrifice later on for ramping purposes. And whenever another colorless creature we control enters, this creature will deal 1 damage to each opponent. This actually can go really powerful for us and help us, of course, with our game plan once we start getting everything else going on. Halo Hopper here. Nothing too fancy about this one. It just has Convoke, so of course you can tap down other creatures to then hopefully cast this for free. Palladium Mirror here. Another one of our bigger ramp packages here, so this of course can tap down for 2 colorless mana to help us again with our game plan. Virulent Silencer. I know, I play this card a lot, but I actually do want to see if we can make it actually work. So Virulent Silencer, it's a robot assassin, and of course whenever a non-token artifact creature we control deals combat damage to a player, we get to add 2 poison counters. I know we're not going to really rely on that, but again, it could be sometimes hilarious if we can manage to have this go off and just put poison counters on our opponent. Workshop Assistant here. This artifact creature allows us to just bring back something else from our graveyard back to our hand when it dies, so it's good for us. Cosmo Elixir in the 4-drop slot here. At the beginning of our end step, if we draw a card if our life total is greater than our starting life total, otherwise just gain 2 life and scry 1. So it helps us again just get our game plan going. Hedron Archive, one of our bigger mana rocks here. You can then pay 4 mana, then have this out, tap this down for 2 mana, and then sacrifice it later on to draw some cards. Giora's Familiar here. So this flying artifact creature bird has flying, and historic spells we cast will be 1 less to cast. That of course means that artifacts, legendaries, and sagas will of course count towards this, which is great. Mystic Forge here. We could look at the top card of our library at any time, and then we may cast artifact spells and colorless spells from the top of our library. Pay 1 life to exile the top card of our library, which just can filter things out and just help us again just keep going with our game plan. Oval Chase Dragster here, trample, haste, and you can only crew it for 1, but this of course can do heavy damage if we start adding some more counters to it. But at the very minimum, it's also just a 6/1 if we just turn it into an artifact creature. Speaking again of more vehicles, we also have Surge Hacker Mech. This technically can be, of course, spot removal for our deck. It's Menace, it's pay 4 mana, it's a 5/5, and you have to crew it for 4, but it can do heavy damage. When it enters, it deals damage equal to twice the number of vehicles we control to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Treasure Keeper here. If this creature were to die, you get to reveal cards from the top of our library until we reveal a non-land card with a mana value of 3 or less, and then put that card without paying its mana cost. So you kind of get, again, something else out for free. Really sweet for us. Put all the revealed cards that were not cast this way back into the bottom of our library. Untethered Express. So this choo-choo train here, this vehicle is a trampling 4/4. It also can crew for 1, and whenever this vehicle attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So this can of course be another card that can help us push through damage. We have a couple other non-vehicles, but artifacts still. I know it's a little confusing here, but Dawnsire, Sunstar Dreadnought is also another really, really big, powerful piece for us. You have to station this to get it to 10, but once you activate it, whenever we attack once we get to past that point, it'll deal 100 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. So with a little bit of time, if this game goes long, we can use this to, of course, just start sniping things, no matter how big they are. Forsaken Monument, one of our key legendary artifacts here. Colorless spells or colorless creatures we control get +2/+2. Anytime we tap a permanent for colorless mana, we get to add an additional colorless mana. Anytime we cast a colorless spell, gain 2 life. Wow, this is actually really good for us and just helps us, of course, make sure we can stabilize and get a lot more power out of our creatures. Luxurious Locomotive here. So this other train we have, it's a vehicle, 6/5 for 5 mana. Whenever this vehicle attacks, create a treasure token for each creature that crewed it this turn. You can crew it for 1, however, you can only activate this once each turn. So that kind of makes sure that you don't go overboard with the train. Sky Sovereign Console Flagship here, the flying boat that we always love here. It's a flying 6/5. You have to crew it for 3, but also when this enters or attacks, deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls. Steel Exemplar here for 5 mana. It's a 4/4, has trample. This creature will enter with 2 +1/+1 counters on it unless 2 or more colors of mana were spent to cast it. Thankfully, of course, we're a colorless deck, so this, of course, will work very well for us. The Mightstone and Weakstone, 1/2 of the Urza Planeswalker card, but we actually aren't going to play the Planeswalker side. We just simply want this as a mana rock here. When it enters, you can either draw 2 cards or give target creature -5/-5 until end of turn, and then tap it for double colorless mana. All right, we're almost done, everybody. So here in the 7-drop slot here, we have Meteor Golem here. So when this creature enters, destroy a non-land permanent an opponent controls. We have Breaker of Creation here. This colorless Eldrazi, when you cast a spell, gain 1 life for each colorless permanent we control, so great for stabilization purposes. And then we also have on it Hexproof from each color with Annihilator 2. Speed Monkey Gaming, what day is your next live stream? Oh, I'm not sure yet. Usually we try to stream on at least either Wednesday and sometimes Friday and or Saturday. Usually that's kind of that's more or less the schedule, if you will. But good question on that one. We'll see if we can try to make that more official once we get closer to those streaming days. Because sometimes, again, my schedule kind of flips week to week, if you will. But I try to announce it ASAP. And then finally, our last of our big artifact creatures here, Bygone Colossus. This robot giant is a 9/9. You can also warp it for 3. So remember, with warp, you bring it in, and then it can do its thing, but then you have to exile it at the beginning of the next end step, but you can still cast it later on. The reason why we would want this is sometimes we want to be able to station faster with Dawnsire, or we can use this, of course, we warp it in for 3 to then crew up one of our other creatures so they can start doing some damage. Now, as far as us being a colorless deck, we kind of have the luxury of picking out a bunch more of the utility lands since we don't have to worry about paying for specific colors. So we'll throw in Adventures In. We have Arid Archway, Buried Ruin here, Darksteel Citadel, Demolition Field, Mech Hangar, Nesting Grounds, Radiant Fountain, Roadside Reliquary, Rogue's Passage, The Gold Saucer, Tocasia's Dig Site, Urza's Cave, and we'll round it out with basics, 27 wastes in total. And that is, of course, the entire deck for everybody. Whew, okay, once again, getting through all that, of course, feels like forever. But again, we managed to get through the whole deck itself. So let's actually get to the fun part now. Let's go ahead, let's take this into the actual Brawl format. Let's play as many matches as possibly can, and let's see how well the deck can do. All right, we'll get this going right here. There we go, awesome, all right. All right, so let's get this going here. So while we load up our first game here, how's everyone's week been so far? They announced yesterday, officially, we're going to get Ninja Turtles coming to Arena, so I'm partially excited for that, but I can understand it might not be everyone's cup of tea, if you will. Okay, so with that, let's see how we can get going here. All right, there we go. Here's our first game. Right. Yeah. It's time to okay. Okay, so it looks like we're playing against Sovereign. What's that against Sovereign? Okanek Ahu? Oh, hey, I actually got that right the first time. I didn't have to, like, misspell it. But anyways. Okay, so first game here. Let's see. We got our Demolition Field, Rogue's Passage. So good news is we have plenty of lands to work with here. Cloud Key, of course, will cheapen everything. We have Halo Hopper, Workshop Assistant. Okay. We definitely have a ramp package here that's going to help us out quite a bit. Well, let's see. Is this going to be enough versus this? Because they're also doing +1/+1 counters, too. We'll see if their plan is better than ours. Fountain Port. Okay, we will dig out a basic. So this, again, will just help us just keep things consistent. Okay, opponents. Forest. The only downside about these colors is also they're the best colors against artifact decks. So we'll see if we can somehow get around this package here. All right. Can't play anything just yet, but okay. We'll be good. We got this. Opponents? In the trenches. Okay, so it gives all creatures, they get +1/+1 pump. Alright, in the meantime, let's sacrifice the Fountain Port, draw a card. Okay, we have a Null Elemental Blast. That actually will be good for later on once we start dealing with their game plan here. Get Cloud Key going. We will, of course, pick Artifact. That makes all of our artifacts cheaper. So this should hopefully just help us speed up the process. Okay, opponent, what you got? Golden Hydra. Alright, it's going to do some damage. Ugh. Okay. Down to 21 for now, but that's okay. We will make our comeback soon. A Demolition Field. We'll play Fizik. Fizik on board. We'll play our Workshop Assistant. So if anything does go... Okay. Halo Hopper. Alright. We're starting to build ourselves out here. A Plains. Okay, Sovereign is coming in. It has Ward 2, which is, again, annoying, but it's not the worst. We do have a Null Elemental Blast that can take it out if we need to. Okay, so we will Voltaic Servant. So, what +1/+1 counter, so this is now where the fun begins, if you will. Feature an Archive. Alright, so with that, No attacks yet. We're just going to start building up our plan here. Fizik gets untapped. Okay. So we need to take it down before it starts attacking. That's what we want to do first. Okay, Dormant Grove. Alright. They start pumping it. Well, too bad, opponents. No Elemental Blast. Yes, we will. Do you pay the 2? We do. Too bad. Denied. Okay. So that fizzles. That's good. And then we will then tap Fizik again. All right, there we go. See? Now we're getting our counters going here, so this is actually really good for us. Okay. Ooh, Might Stone and Weak Zone. This is going to be good right here. Okay, so we -5. Hydra's gone. And there we go, everybody. Our opponents had enough there. Victory goes to us. All right, first game, and we get our first win. Nice. All right. Didn't get to have to do any damage there, but you kind of saw once we started getting the ball rolling, it was going to be very hard for our opponent to stop us unless they had all the artifact hate in the world. But there you go, everybody. So that was a great example there of, again, how we want this deck to run. Okay, get our win in, and let's just continue with the good times. For those that are interested, of course, don't worry. At the end of the stream, I will, of course, update the details for the live stream where we will add in, of course, a link to this deck if you do like it. And I'll show you again like how the price will be. So it's pretty affordable, all things considered, regardless of whichever way you want to do it, whether you play it on paper or if you play it here digitally on Arena. So it is going to be good across all platforms there. All right, our opponent is playing Redain, God of the Worthy / Protector Shield. This will be an interesting one. So that means they're going to be able to soften our blows. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad for us, but we'll see. So in the meantime, the goal, of course, is just to get everything going, just like they're going to start ramping too. Ambitious Farmhand. Okay. We'll put out the Mech Hanger. Ornithopter Paradise. All right. Okay, opponents. Strict Proctor. Okay. So this means they're going to try to, I guess, ramp a little faster here. Okay. How do we want to do this? Okay, Jor's Familiar. Makes all of our historic spells will be cheaper. All right. Opponents. Lorna of the Third Path. Ooh. Okay. That will be annoying for us. But thankfully, they actually also fizzled out just because we were able to... Oh. Oh, our opponent, you gave up already? Yay? But, okay. I think I kind of figured out what happened there, everybody. So for those that might be confused, I'm guessing our opponent's Strict Proctor actually countered their own Enter ability there, which provided them, or at least denied them, the ability to actually blow up one of our artifacts. That is hilarious, by the way. But okay. I guess a win's a win, so I'll take it. Alright. So, that's no problem for us. We'll still take it. So get your dailies done, everybody. As a reminder again, if you do play, of course, on Arena here, try to always get at least 4 wins a day to get at least bare minimum your gold. So that should be, what is that now? 450 for your gold, and then at least get, if you go up to 6 wins, you can get at least 500 gold. And then with the daily challenge, that's another 500, and that's enough to at least get 1 booster pack. Just an FYI for anybody's curious. Okay, here. So, all right. Hanger Backwalker, that's good for the early part of the game. High-speed hover bike, Cloud Keyword, cheapen everything out. Meteor Golem will be good on the back end once we start building up enough colorless options here. Ooh, our opponent's playing Sliver, Weft Winder. Oh, it's an Alchemy card. Okay, well, not a fan of Alchemy, but we're still going to have to work with it no matter what. So, Roadside Reliquary, and we'll pass. Okay, so in that case then... Okay, Chief of the Foundry will be great for later on once we can start getting things going here. We'll play with, let's see, Gold Saucer. We'll get down Hanger back so we can start slowly building that up for value. So once we start putting counters again, we'll get Thopters once we need to pop this. Okay, Plains. Alright, here come the Slivers. I mean, we did play Slivers a while ago, so that actually is a pretty solid game plan once you can get it going. We'll tap this. Arid Archway. So we're going to be awkwardly slow for a moment there, but this is fine. Let's see. I guess we'll do the Market Backwalker as well. Okay, get it down for value. No attacks yet. Little by little, we got this going. But once they get their slivers going, also this will be... Ugh. Actually, I don't know how we're going to be able to do it. We might be able to get around their slivers. But we'll see. Opponents? Sheltered by Ghost. Oh, wow. They actually put a creature there? Okay. Well, that's annoying. This is fine. It's fine, everybody. It's fine. We will have a way to get around this. Now, it's not a big deal. Market Backwalker still will be helpful once that time comes. Cloud Key. And we will, of course, name Artifact. So with that, replay the Gold Saucer. And we will play Ornithopter Paradise. Just getting our ramp going. No attacks yet. It's going to cost a lot to put counters on this, but we do have technically Fizik coming in now, so this actually should be good. Oh, okay. There we go. Play Fizik for a cheaper cost. We'll play Chief of the Foundry. Alright. Well, so far so good. No attacks yet. Okay. So, opponent, what you got? Okay. No attacks yet? Our opponent's not playing anything. Okay, I guess we'll just throw this out there now. Tap down that token. And pass here. Okay, so in that case... Oh, okay. So I want to see if we can get back Hangerback Walker, but... Oh. It's probably going to be... I don't know. Actually, no, this... I realize that won't work. I was originally going to see if we could try to bring in Meteor Golem to blow up the Shelter by Ghost, but by doing so, it re-enters with no counters on it. And even if it comes back, we cannot put a counter on it at instant speed, so I guess that won't work. I guess instead, we'll just focus on our game plan here. Crew up for 1. We'll put it on the Market Backwalker. Swing. And swing. Okay. Alright. We did the first point of damage there. Okay. So, what we can do now is we can start putting a bunch of counters on Fizik and the rest of our team, and we should be able to start putting out there a lot more power once we can get going once against our opponent here. How does this alchemy card work? This looks disgusting, by the way. Okay, so a Swift Wayfinder. Sliver cards in your hand have Warp 3. Okay, so... we'll put counters on stuff. And, okay. I guess we'll remove 2 counters. We'll remove it from here since it's going to die anyway. And I guess we'll remove it off the Treasure Keeper. Draw a card. Okay. So there we go. So that's how we build up value with this card. We have to kind of just know when to start putting out their stuff. Okay. Fusion Sliver. Okay. Annoying. But again, that's not the worst for us. Okay. Ooh, Steel Overseer. Oh, this is beautiful here. This is actually our main card. So this is the star of the show here along with Fizik. And then... we still can't do the Meteor Golem yet. So with that, I guess we will crew 1 here. And we'll put counters on stuff. Swing big here. Alright, down to 15. Not too bad. Whenever Sliver... okay, so it's like it has Ward 2. Okay, Sliver Wayfinder coming in. So they will get a random Sliver card, which is, again, annoying. But let's see if we can get around it. While our opponent is trying to... okay, they got... oh, they got Therming Hypal. Ugh. It's going to start making a lot of slivers on their next upkeep. Okay. So... well, I guess we'll do this now, because we can't afford to have Double Strike and to start blowing us up. In the meantime here, so same thing, remove some counters. Remove counter. Let's see, remove a counter off the high-speed hover bike. Draw a card. Okay. Okay. Small price to pay, but we also get Palladium Mirror for free. That's nice. And our turn. Mirror Scrappling for free. That's cute. Okay, so let's see. Scrappling. And Actually, let's just go full price with this one. Bygone Colossus. I need to defeat that opponent. We have a giant robot. Literally a robot giant. That's actually fun. Okay, so in the meantime here, put counters on stuff. Build all the team. Build up the team. All right, nice. We're doing it. Let's see. We'll crew 1, and we'll do it on the Scrapling. Big swing here. Okay, opponent, do you have an answer? I don't think I have an answer for this. Oh, man. This was great. So we have a really big team now, and we're just doing some big damage here. We should be able to then throw Meteor Golem down next turn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we should be able to blow up the Weft Finder, or we can blow up the Hive Pool. Down to 2. All right, we're almost there. Okay. So their stupid thing just keeps going, but we'll try to see if we can get around their annoying commander here. We just have to survive a hit. Just a hit. Cloud Shredder? Oh. What? Ooh. Okay. I think they might have gotten us. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, well, I don't know how I'm gonna get around this. Because we already just tapped down our high-speed hover bike, and there's no way we can get around that now. Did we lose? Cleansing Wildfire, okay. So they're trying to do a little ramping here of their own. So let's see, how much damage is that in the air? So that's, okay, so everything has double strike. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, that's 26 damage in the air. And, oh, that's game. That's, dang it, that's game. If we had at least one flyer still up and running here, we could have survived this. But yeah, they actually got the right card to actually beat us down. Wow. Wow. Dang. But do they know that? Oh, they don't. They didn't swing yet. Okay. Well, actually, now we have a shot here to survive this. Okay. Okay, so we have to blow up. What's the? Oh, okay. So we blow up Cloud Shredder. Cloud Shredder. Okay, I think we got this still. Okay, we have to pay the 2. Our opponent. I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you, everybody. I can't believe that. Our opponent technically had lethal in air because I countered it out before the Realm Walker came in. That was 26 in the air because, again, double strike does double damage with 2 swings. Plus all that up. Yeah, I'm not good at math, but I believe that was 26 damage in the air. Realm Walker, if they swung, they could have won. I don't think our opponent knew that. But this is also the reason why you want to wait until your opponent is fully done. I was about to concede there, but I'll take a free win. So thank you, opponents. Thank you, thank you. 6777. Lucky, lucky. Yes, indeed. All right. Free card here. Okay, Collector's Cage. Not a card we're going to use, probably, but hey, still good for us. I'll take a free. All right, let's keep the good times rolling, everybody. All right. So far, so good. Colorless counters. We're doing our thing. Feeling good. But again, what was I going to ask? Oh, yeah, there was a question I wanted to ask everybody again. So we did get, again, Ninja Turtle cards were officially announced for next year in March. What are your thoughts on Ninja Turtles coming to Magic the Gathering, everybody? I know some people, again, are kind of on that train again of like, it's again, too much coming in our face. And I will definitely say that it feels like it's exhausting trying to keep up with a lot of these cards. We have Avatar coming out next month. At the beginning of the year in January, it will be Lorwyn, so that'll be classic Magic. And then we're going to go into a huge chunk of the year where we're going to be doing a lot of Universes Beyond non-Magic sets, if you will. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to see if we can try to get around it. Okay, so in the meantime, all right, Temple of Mystery, Scrying. All right, Fountain Bellport, that's cute. Get that going there. Fountain Port just helps us to dig out a basic. Put that on top. Okay, there we go. Iron Apprentice. Okay, so Kotis is also another very popular card currently in Arena. We played it actually a couple months ago. It is a fun card, but it's also a pain to actually have to fight around. So we'll see if we can get around this game plan here. Fizik coming in. Swing. All right. First point of damage there, opponent. Okay, what you got? Cool Vein Pick, okay. We'll use this to build treasures, I take it. Cryo Shatter. Oh, okay. So, that doesn't hurt us per se. Because what we can do is we can still build out everything we want to. Glaring Fleshraker. Ginger Brute. Make a spawn. Ping our opponents. Ping our opponent again. Put +1/+1 counters on stuff. So while we do destroy our own creature, we still get the counters on our stuff. So that's still not too bad. Because they're going to do some damage. Okay. Kotis, okay. We'll sacrifice this, draw a card. Okay. Ooh, Retrofitter Foundry, that'll be good for later. So let's see. In the meantime here, Wayfarer's Bauble. Make a spawn. Retrofitter Foundry. Make another spawn. Okay. Not too bad so far. We can... I think we'll wait it out for a moment here. So Fleshraker also is good because every time another colorless creature enters, so for example, we can make servos, if you will, that will still ping off our opponent. So we do have a bit of pressure on our opponent for the time being. But it's going to take a little while before we actually get to what we want. Having it indestructible is also a pain to deal with. We don't have really an answer in colorless, at least not in this deck, to deal with that. So, gonna have to play around over it. Starforged Sword. Okay, so they attach it. They give us a fish. Not a fan of fish, by the way. Does anybody actually like eating fish? I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. Alright. Opponent is trying to build up Kotis here, which is going to be, again, annoying. Okay, so in the meantime, block here. Just one. And then from here, our opponents. We will then Wayfarer's Bauble. Sacrifice both of our Chosen Spawns. Sacrifice the Bauble. Get a waste in. Okay, nice. Play Jorah's Familiar. Get another ping in. Ping, ping, ping. Okay, not too bad so far. Swing in with the fish. Down to 6. Okay, opponents. You're running out of time. Can they stack up enough stuff on Kotis here to beat us down? They draw 3 cards to discard 2. Unless they discard a creature. Is our opponent going to try to stage a comeback here? Maybe. Okay. They'll surveil. Okay, they threw away a card. Alright, they gained some life. They'll create a lander token. So their version of Kotis was slightly different than ours. Theirs is mostly equipment and aura focused. Ours was a little bit different. But so far so good. Let's go ahead. Let's make... We will convert the servo here into a Thopter. Okay, and our opponent has had enough as well. All right, nice. We're getting our wins in today. Okay, deck feels pretty good. We got our win. Okay, countering things back and forth. Well, so far. All right, so got to keep the good times rolling, everybody. We are doing pretty good here. So, I know early thoughts right now, because we're not quite there yet, but again, let me know, everybody. Are you liking the deck so far? I know if you saw the thumbnail, it technically is the right card, just the wrong version, of course, is in Arena. But let's see. Can we keep our win streak going now? I think we've won every single game. We haven't lost at all today, so not too bad. Okay, we will get our wastes.
Mind Stone. Alright, cool. Waste comes in. Fizik will come down turn 3. Mind Stone means we can put down Cosmo Elixir. That's actually pretty good. Waste and Mind Stone. Once we have enough out, we can also put down the boots into Fizik. And that should hopefully help us build our plan. Opponent is playing Borox. Wait, no. No, Brocox. Is that Brocox? That's 2 Ks. Apex of Forever. I haven't seen anybody play this in a while, so kind of forgotten how to handle this, but we'll see if we can get around it. Put another waste down. Put down the Elixir. Opponents. Oh, they had a counterspell. Okay, well, that's annoying. Well, I guess no free card draw for us. Small price to pay, but it's not a big deal. We can still ramp out just the same, though. Okay, opponents. Toski coming in. Okay. If that heralds the end, that'll be helpful for later on. But the Might Stone and Weak Stone actually perfect here because this can -5. So Toski does get beaten down. Sorry, opponent. No free card draw for you. Put the boots down now. Okay. Phew. Well, that actually was one of our bigger things we have to worry about there. But so far, so good. Okay. Brocox coming in. So, how do we deal with this? Okay, I think we'll play Physics. Equip for 1. Let's see. Nothing yet. So what we're going to do is we will use high-speed hover bike and tap down. At least now Physics is protected. So they are a... Okay, so they're a mutate deck completely here. So that's actually a problem for us. Our stuff's going to get blown up here very quickly. So in the meantime, we got to start putting stuff out there now and fast. Okay. Tap this down. Opponents. Snakeskin Bill. Okay. Counters. Oh dear. Not good. Not good at all. So we lose our Might Stone. We do get at least 1 creature out of that. No blocks. So that Sawsbuck Demolisher is going to be a real big pain for us. Unless if we can start building up everything quick. Okay. Dawnsire. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we're going to try. Okay, pump it up. Oh, opponents? Oh, they gave up already? I thought they were going to actually beat us there. Yay! I guess another free win. Wow. I guess nobody wants to play with an artifact deck today, but okay. I honestly thought we were actually going to lose that one, because if you start mutating the Sod Tusk, that'll just start blowing up our whole game plan. Wow. I thought our opponent had the edge there, but okay, I'll take a win. A win is a win. Okay, so moving on there. Getting our free card. And we will jump back into it. Okay, so far it's been smooth sailing for us. Maybe a little too smooth. But I worry that with the matchmaking, I swear, they're probably going to throw at us a bunch of opponents that are going to start countering our stuff. I don't know, it always feels that way. You go on a good win streak here playing, and then all of a sudden you start getting slammed with like 4, 5, 6 losses in a row. At least it kind of feels that way at times. Fortunately, of course, we're playing in a... Well, I mean, Brawl doesn't have any rankings to it. It's just kind of free-for-all. So it's kind of at least a little refreshing to know, like, you know, you're not pressured to have to perform. But I wonder in the future if they actually will do a serious ranking for this. I don't know. For those of you that do play on Arena like I do, what do you think? Do you think they would add that in? Would you think that's something that you might want to see in Arena? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so... Our opponent's also playing a colorless deck, huh? Well, this might be an interesting one. Okay. We don't have anything huge for it that heralds the end, but it still pumps up our creatures just the same, so we're going to keep that. Okay, opponents? Okay, so let's see who is the stronger colorless deck. We'll find out here. Okay, Ugin's Ponderant. Oh, I forgot that was also another colorless spell, but it's not an artifact creature, so it doesn't really help us out, per se. Let's see here. We'll put down Voltaic Cerbit. Okay, nothing to untap yet. But this is actually going to be really good once we start building up other artifacts with it. Okay, opponent, Mind Stone. Alright, they got their ramp going. Can't swing just yet. Circuit Mender, okay. A little awkward because we don't quite have what we want. But we can do some damage with the Servant. Down to 23. We'll untap it. Okay, come on, deck. We need another land. We get one more land, we can start doing our thing here. Energy Refractor, okay. Okay, they also have Stone of Eric, okay. Most of what their list should be very similar to ours. Okay, Fountain Port Bell. Not quite what I wanted right now, but I'll take it. It's slow ramp, but it does count. Put down the Foundry. Swing here. I'm assuming, of course, our opponent's still not going to block. So, 3 damage, down to 21. Untap. Okay, so the good news, though, however, is Fizik now comes in next turn, and we should be good to go. Being that we're both colorless decks, they don't probably have anything that's going to be good for removal against us. Okay, so they brought in Ultima here. So whenever Ultima attacks, put a blight counter on target land. Okay, I mean, that doesn't really hurt us all that much. So, bring in Fizik. Alright, no attacks this time. And we'll just do its ability. Okay, huh. Okay. I mean, again, that ability doesn't hurt us, but we would love this in our deck if we go on non-budget. We'll look at that again once we get to that point. We'll be coming up on that soon, though. The 6-8 leveler. Oh, dear. Well, unfortunately, of course, our opponent's going to be playing non-budget. We're playing budget still. We won't get to the non-budget one for a little bit longer. Excuse me. Cityscape Leveler. Hit that Herald's the End as well. Okay. Not good. Okay, they put a Blight counter, but again, that doesn't really hurt our plan. Because we're already colorless ourselves. Alright, Fizik can come in again. This time we'll put in Hedron Archive. Circuit Mender. Gain some life. No attacks yet. We will untap our Hedron Archive. Okay, so Cityscape Leveler is our biggest thing to get around, and unfortunately, we don't have an option for that, at least not in this deck. Oh, they got God Pharaoh statue? Oh dear. Alright, well I think our opponent has kind of hosed us. They managed to outdo us and counter our thing. Wow. Of all the decks to beat us, it's going to be a colorless deck. Huh, who would have thought? Okay, so, opponents. Once he starts swinging here, it's pretty much lights out. We're going to give it a turn or so to see if we can get at least one option that maybe we might have in the deck, but I don't think we're going to have enough to get around it. We don't have God Pharaoh statue. I know that's actually something. Maybe we should have put that in as one of our hosers. I'll look at that for the non-budget deck. Okay, opponents. At this point, they could just swing. There's not really much of a reason for them to hold back at this point. Coast Legs Command. Alright, so at this point, we'll make the servo. But yeah, it's probably gonna be over for us really quick. We'll give it a turn or two. But again, our deck, because it is budget for now, we just don't have an option against this. Okay, opponents. Okay, there we go. They do their scrying. So we lose our pump there. That's a shame. They swing. And they'll start blowing up all of our stuff here. Okay. So we'll just give it one more turn here. If we don't draw what we need to, it's pretty much done. So they take out our archive there. I can block here. Doesn't do much to help us, but we try. The blow, down to 12. Okay, come on, deck. Draw a card. Fleshraker would be nice if it was just a different deck we were fighting, but yeah. Virulent Silencer also would be kind of fun if we just had a way to get around it, but yeah. Alright, our opponent got us there. Wow. So our first loss against an enemy colorless deck. Not what I was expecting, but okay. No big deal. It's still early on. Okay, so in the meantime here, let's go ahead, let's just jump into it. We'll shake that one off. Not a big deal. We take our wins, we take our losses as they come. Alright, shaking it off. Let's get our gameplays on.
It's time!
Alright. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. For this one here, we got wastes. Venture's airship can help us draw. Patchwork automaton will also grow big. Alright, opponents, and we're facing off against Murata. Oh, okay. That's interesting because we actually played this card a while ago, and I will say right now, Murata, she good. That's a powerful card. So you'll see right now as they start putting +1/+1 count. Oh, I'm sorry, just actually what is it? It's ingenuity counters. There's too many counters out there in the game. But for reals, once this starts going, they'll start putting a ton of free artifacts out there, and it's gonna get really gnarly. Arcane Signet, okay, they got it out for free. Wow, talk about lucky off of that off the top. Treasure map, okay. All right, looks like they want to get their ramp package going, which is fine. In the meantime here, let's get down Patchwork Automaton. Swiftfoot Boots, start pumping up the Automaton. All right, opponents, drawing cards. They scry at the top of their upkeep. Okay. Trying to draw into something good. Okay, so they're at 3 now. Is this something to be worried about? Contentious plan. Okay, so they're proliferating. Okay. Pumps up everything. Okay, free artifact. What do they get at 5? Unwinding clock. Oh. Oh dear. Okay. So. Let's get Fizik in now. Start pumping up the automaton. We need to start doing damage here quick. Or at least I hope we can get this going. Okay, they managed to flip their treasure. Put the boots on Fizik. We then tap. Start putting on our team. So our option right now is now we got to get really aggro. Because again, Murata can just run away with the game if you have no answers for it. And being that we're colorless, again, our options are very, very limited. Okay, Augur Bolus. Okay. Opponent's digging. Ooh, Tezzeret. Really good card.
My purpose
Kind of
is
scary.
clear. This will suffice for now.
Okay, so they got Mox Amber out for free. Okay. Tezzeret's starting to build up stuff. What do they get at 6?
Is my own.
Chromatic Lantern, okay. Interesting choice to put in the deck, okay.
All
Shadow Spia.
there is no
Narset,
system I
okay. Alright, we gotta start blowing up their planeswalkers quick here. We're running out of time, because they are drawing like crazy here. Okay, Vexing Bauble. Ooh, oh, Vexing Bauble actually might be good here. This can counter spells. Okay, so remember, again, for those that forgot, Vexing Bauble here, really good. Anytime a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, we can counter it. So this will prevent Murata from going off completely here. So that helps us out a ton. That might be a game changer for us. Okay, and then counters. Okay, Chemist's Insight, they're drawing. They start pumping it up. Okay, and then we need to take out Tezzeret first. That's the biggest threat. Most likely the block, okay. Augur dies. Okay, so at this point, that should at least shut off Murata for now. Anything that they can do now will have to be dealt with Vexing Bauble. So the Immortal Sun can't come in. Wait, why would they have the Immortal Sun in the deck? Doesn't that shut down their own planeswalkers? I'm very confused at their game plan here. Stone Cold Serpent, okay. Well, Stone Cold Serpent also doesn't hurt us either. Okay.
My
The Immortal Sun. Yeah, that shuts off their Planeswalkers, doesn't it? Yeah.
All too easy.
Kappa Cannoneer. Okay. Can't swing
There
just
is
yet,
no
so
system
we're a
I
little
can't
safe
improve.
for now. Okay, wait for a bobble. Okay, so. Excuse me. Opponents. Avatar's inside again. Okay. Counter's still going up on her. At this point now, she can just play anything for free. But Vexing Ball at least will keep that fair for now. Okay, how do we do this here? We need enough to get to the Dawnsire, because at this point we might have to turn on Dawnsire to shut out our opponent here. Okay. Okay, opponents. Swing in against Tezzeret. Just make sure that thing goes down. Pump the team. Okay. Tezzeret's down. Phew. Okay.
It's only a temporary
So at least that won't get any bigger. Even if we get rid of the Immortal Sun. That's going to be a problem for us. Okay. They keep drawing. Joy. Oh, I see some new friends over there on, what is it, Instagram there? So, Luis Diaz 40, thanks again for joining us today. Nico Bolas MTG, and known a... Wait, I can't say it. Hold on. I can do it. So, known a Marab. Sorry if I butchered that. But thanks again for joining us today over there on Instagram, guys. How y'all doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, they play the One Ring, so they're protected for a turn. But this might be the turn we're going to need here to start doing our thing. Thrumming Bird, okay. But at least now we shut off our opponent's ability to start doing stuff here. Ooh. That's not good. We got to get around that some way. Somehow. Okay. They be swinging. So they take a big swing at us. We're at 19, but they go up to 29. It's still kind of anybody's game, though. So I still think we can get around this. Dawnsire. Pumping up Patchwork. Okay, opponent is drawing cards. Don't get too greedy, opponents. Okay, do they have counter spells? I think that's the only thing that was also going to hurt us at this point. Now, there's the counter spell. Okay. Dang. We still get the pump on our Patchwork Automaton, though. Okay, they brainstorm for 3. Or I should say 1. And draw 3. Okay, so in the meantime here, nothing now. We're just gonna... Actually, I forget that once another artifact enters, it can't be... It's unblockable again. Okay, so in the meantime, yeah, no attacks. Wow, okay. So I think our next option is we got to get rid of Narset. I think if we get rid of Narset, which I probably should have swung at last time, but if we get rid of Narset, then we can at least start drawing cards using Cosmo Elixir and other cards that we have. Okay. Oh, it's getting kind of greedy here, though. Flibblethip. It also draws a card. So One Ring is going to be at 3, so they're going to start getting drained out quick here. But Shadow Sphere also keeps them alive for a while. Astrologian's Planisphere. Okay, another artifact. Now it's unblockable. Okay. I'm not sure if we can get around the Kappa Cannoneer. At least not with what we have. It would be nice, but jeez. Just making it... Wow, it's such a powerful card. Okay. Anything else, opponent? They take a peek. I forgot that peek is technically now in the game. Would be an interesting card to use for a future deck. We'll see if we can try to make that work next time. Okay. They hit us down to 8. Ugh. Do we have another shot here? Or are we just done? The Vexing Powell is nice, but it might be too little too late on that. Okay, so in the meantime... Foundry Inspector. Pumps up Automaton. Okay, they're just going to draw more cards. No way for us to stop that, unfortunately. Dang. Okay. Mind Stone. Okay. I mean, our Automaton is doing good stuff here. But as long as the Kappa cannot be blocked, we're pretty much dead no matter what we do here. Okay. Pop the whole team. Okay. Still, I mean, a 16-16 is nothing to be sad about. It's just we just can't get through. Okay, so once they play their next one with the Kappa Cannoneer, it's pretty much done. If only we had that Vexing Bauble at the early part of the game, we could have shut down their whole plan. Jeez. It is a powerful card, though, I will say. When we played it a while ago on budget, and it's still even powerful on a budget level. Okay, and that is the artifact that will seal our fate. All right. Wow. We just couldn't find an answer for the Kappa Cannoneer, but again, being colorless, you are limited on options. It's not a big deal, everybody. It's okay. But speaking of that, like, I think now would be the best time for us to convert this over. So, as we're reaching now the halfway point of the stream, what if we took the time to actually upgrade this deck and make it better? So, we're going to now show you the upgraded version of the deck, actually, if you do like the deck, and you want to see how much more stronger it could truly be. So this version here, we're going to infuse to it a lot more value to make sure we can get our game plan going here. So with Fizik here still maintaining the things, we're going to try to upgrade here. We're going to throw in some more faster and stronger ramp with cards like Mox Opal. We'll throw in Basilisk Collar here to give one of our creatures Death Touch and Lifelink, so it helps us out with stabilization. We'll throw in now Shadow Spear of our own, so now we can give ourselves both Lifelink and Trample, so it's good for us. In terms of other upgrades here, the Ozolith also here is an amazing card for us. Anytime we will lose creatures that have counters on it, bank them into the Ozolith, and then later on you can put those counters back onto another creature. So it's going to be great for us on any way, shape, or form there. In the 2-drop slot, we'll throw in Agatha's Soul Cauldron. So this is going to be, again, better graveyard hate in the main deck here, but we can also put +1/+1 counters on a creature we control and give it abilities as we start exiling more creatures. So this all, of course, will be hilariously strong once we start getting that going. In terms of other upgrades here, let's see, I'm just trying to see where our next ones are, because I do have a bunch here. So Smuggler's Copter will now be added in as well. Pretty much a classic one for us. It has Crew 1. It's a 3/3 once it becomes an artifact creature as a vehicle. When you attack or block, you can draw a card with it, and if you do, you have to discard a card. So good for us overall. We'll throw in the Iron Crag here as a much more stronger mana rock for us. So 2 mana, legendary artifact. If you want to, you can then flip this later on once you meet the conditions to make this into Everflame. What's it? The Iron Crag itself, a legendary equipment. So that actually would be pretty cool for us. We can get that to flip. We have more graveyard hit with Unlicensed Hearse, but it's also a vehicle, so it does count towards our game plan. We'll throw in Kozilek's Command here. So we are kind of, I guess, kind of colorless. We're kind of bordering on like pseudo Eldrazi, but not exactly. We're mostly just here again just to use this for its value. Let's see. In the 3-drop slot, upgrading here means we'll throw in Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter. So this gives all of our colorless spells and artifact spells flash. So this will be a faster way to actually get our game plan going. If we can hold up mana until the end of our opponent's turn. Nettlecyst here is a living weapon. Gives one of our creatures +1/+1 for each artifact and our enchantment we control. So much more stronger overall to help us with our game plan here. We'll have Palantir of Palantir of Orthanc. Words are hard, by the way. But this legendary artifact, of course, we want this because we can just start messing with our opponent. We can start draining him of life unless they want to start giving us cards. So good for us at any point in the game. We'll throw in now Staff of Completion. So this will help us, of course, start drawing cards. We can proliferate to start putting counters on things and help us again as a very expensive mana dork, but it does work well. Scrawling Crawler will also be an upgrade to us, so this Phyrexian Construct allows us to keep drawing extra cards. If our opponent draws their own cards, they will lose 1 life for every card they draw. We're going to throw in, of course, Tezzeret itself, so we definitely want to play this since we're playing all artifacts. In the 4-drop slot, upgrades here will be Ether Flux Reservoir here, so anytime we cast a spell, we will gain 1 life, and then once we get to 50+ life, we can then pay that much to deal 50 damage to any target. So this is going to be a win con for us as we keep going. We'll throw in, for extra options here, the One Ring. I know a lot of people don't like the One Ring, and even though it got nerfs from Alchemy updates in Brawl, it's still a great card for us even in this format. And then in other upgrades here, we will throw in, let's see, what else we throw in? Oh yeah, we have Karn here, Legacy Reforged. So legendary artifact creature Golem. So its power and toughness are equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts we control. But realistically, you want this here because at the beginning of your upkeep, you add colorless mana for each artifact we control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, but that's perfectly fine for us. We're literally an artifact deck, so this is perfect for our game plan here. And then at the top end, of course, we have Echoes of Eternity here. If a triggered ability of a colorless spell we control or another colorless permanent we control triggers, we can then pull that up an additional time. Anytime we cast a colorless spell, we can then make a new copy of it. So this is an extremely powerful card once we get to the top end here. We'll throw in Ugin the Ineffable here. Colorless spells we cast will be 2 less to cast. So this will, of course, cheapen the cost. And also it's a great way to pseudo ramp. And then we could throw in Extinguisher Battleship here. When this spacecraft enters, destroy a non-creature permanent, and then this spacecraft will deal 4 damage to each creature. So kind of like on the top end, it's kind of like a pseudo-wrath for us. We hopefully it shouldn't blow us up, but this is pretty good to clear out the board. You can station it if you want to for 5 to make it a 10/10 flying trampling spacecraft. As far as the upgrades here to the mana base here, we'll throw in now, obviously, Ancient Tomb. So this will deal 2 damage to us, but that's a small price to pay to get double mana, so we can really speed up our game plan here. We'll throw in Blinkmock Nexus here as an artifact creature for us. Other upgrades here that you want, we'll throw in Drannith Ruins. Not too often you're going to utilize this, but this can be helpful at various times here. You can put +1/+1 counters on a creature that's non-human that entered this turn, so kind of cool for us because we're artifacts anyway. Throw in the Fountain Port. We do have a lot of tokens to work with here, so we can sacrifice the tokens, draw cards, make some other tokens or treasures if we need to. Since we have a lot of artifacts, Inventor's Sphere is an auto-include for us. It literally will help us gain 1 life as long as we have 3 or more artifacts out. See, we'll throw in also Karn's Bastion here. We can tap this down to proliferate and start putting more +1/+1 counters on every one of our things that we have out there. We'll throw in the Mirex here. This can help us make Phyrexian Mites. This, of course, will make them also get toxic, but we can use this again just to fill out our artifact game plan here. We'll throw in for more upgrades here. What is it? I'm trying to see what else we got here. Scavenger's Ground, also good for us to exile Graveyard. So again, more Graveyard hate that we can stack up. We'll throw in Ugin's Labyrinth here. We imprint this with exiling a colorless card with a mana value of 7 or greater from our hand. Not too many we have in the deck, but the ones we do have can be helpful for us to then tap to do more mana. And that should be trimming down our waste now to 17 to make accommodations for all of these lands. But that is the whole upgraded version, everybody. Let's see, can the upgraded version of our counter deck do better? I mean, we're doing pretty good already. Granted, we only lost 2 games, but that's not too bad. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's see if we can make this work, everybody. Let's go ahead. Let's try to see if we can make a much more better version of our deck. Okay, so with that, let's keep this going. Okay, so as we're loading up a game here, question for everybody out there. I know some of you don't have a positive response to Universes Beyond, but is there any Universes Beyond set that you are looking forward to coming up? Are you looking forward to Avatar? Are you looking forward to Ninja Turtles? Marvel? Star Trek? Let me know, everybody. I would love to hear from you about, again, if your favorite property entered the game. Or if you don't like it entering the game, let me know why. I am curious to know how it is for everybody. Okay, so here we go, everybody. We got our next game in here. Let's see. Okay. Ooh. Nice, we got the Ancient Tomb at the very beginning. That's actually going to help speed up our plan so fast. All right, so this should be good for us. And with Cosmo Elixir, that's a great way to actually kick us off here. We'll throw in Ancient Tomb here. And we have the Market Backwalker, so we can already put this in for 1. That's actually really nice. Make ourselves for 2. Small price to pay, but that's okay. It will pay itself off soon. All right. Rite of the Reliquary. Okay, we got a Blinkmock Nexus. Play the Nesting Grounds. Let's see. We'll play Tezzeret. Ourselves again. Again, not a huge deal, but we also get to put +1/+1 counters on our Market Backwalker, so that's actually really sweet for us.
Work harder.
Great synergy. That's actually a pretty good start. Even if our opponent blows it up here. Do they swing? We'll draw cards off of that if they do hit it. Nothing, opponents? Oh, okay, they are going for it. Okay, so we'll let it go for now. Okay, my Go Tyrant doesn't do anything just yet. Okay, Blinkmock Nexus. We will throw in Fizik. Ping ourselves. That's okay. Put a loyalty counter back on Tezzeret. We will...
My network is already vast.
Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, okay, so we'll put... on Fizik. Okay, and we'll wait it out.
Obey
No
me.
attacks yet. So at least for now, we can block and keep Tezzeret alive. If we can keep Tezzeret alive, we definitely will be having a major advantage here. We also have Ugin in hand. Sky Sovereign can blow stuff up. Shinra reinforcements. Okay, so they're doing some milling. They'll gain some life. Yeah, I forgot this goes. Okay. Power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures we control that are fungi or saplings. Okay. Did they sacrifice another creature? They can sacrifice the Shinra if they want to. Okay, so they do. Alright. Oh, actually, no. They stationed. Okay. Now they sacrifice it. Okay. It is bigger, but it's not horrible. At the very least now, we do have time to really get our game plan going here. Okay, so they do make their tokens. Inventor's Fair. Okay, so put in the Inventor's Fair. We will Sky Sovereign now. Take some more damage, but that's okay. Take out the right. So that's down.
Bow to your new.
We will... -3. I'm anticipating Tezzeret's not going to survive for much longer, so we might as well start getting our plan going. Get the Mox Opal out. Opal. Loyalty back on it.
Soon you will grow.
And we will pass here. Okay, so the fungi cannot block. That gives us one small advantage. But realistically, what we're waiting for now is just within the swing. We might have to sacrifice our giant boat here. Or we could also bring in Ugin too. I mean, we have options here. We do have options this time. Satyr Wayfinder. Okay. Throw 2 into the yard. 3 into the yard. Okay. Swamp. Ornithopter. Okay. Got a little extra ramp there going. Okay, opponent. Anything else? Okay, they do station some more. Okay, so I guess they're going to station with their little tokens. That will give them a lot of mana once that activates. Opponents. Okay, stationing up. Okay, they still got more. If we activate the Sky Sovereign, Ornithopter can get taken out. Okay, so they do. Okay, so they do max stationing. Okay, so now they have all the mana in the world. But Tezzeret does live to see another day, though. They will make more tokens. We will start adding counters to our game plan here. We need some life. Okay, Mightstone and Weakstone is not bad either, but we need Ugin down now. Hang ourselves. We will... Okay, we got to destroy this before it gets out of control. So at least that buys us a turn. Okay. That's a lot of tokens to deal with, though. We need... on the Market Backwalker.
I am power.
I'm anticipating our Planeswalkers are not going to survive next turn, so we might as well start crewing stuff up here. Let me get rid of the... Okay, so I guess... This is actually kind of tricky here. We don't really have good options right now. I want to block too, but most of their stuff's kind of weak as is. Okay, might as well just try to get in the hit. Counting on stuff. Swing with our big boat. Blow up Ornithopter, so we have no blockers. Down to 20. Okay. That's still a lot of damage coming to us. Ideally, if only we had our Wrath. That's what we need right now. That's coming down to 8-8. Or actually, there's a 9-9. Yeep. Okay. Okay, mill 3. Alright. World Shaper. Okay, what's your last card, opponents? Opponent fell. Oh, they hit our Market Backwalker? I'm surprised they didn't want to hit Fizik. Okay, well, that does refuel us, so... Is this going to be enough? Oh, we got the one ring. Okay. So that at least protects us, at least for one turn. Big swing here. So our only hope at this point is we have to blow up the whole board. That's literally our only option to survive. Okay, they swinging. Big swing. Down to 12. So are we dead this turn?
Revenge is inevitable.
Okay, so they make 3. Still gain a little life there. Okay. Radiant Fountain to gain some life back. Okay. Well, it's gonna have to be the One Ring. That at least buys us one turn. Cosmo Elixir. Hang ourselves. Actually, we don't do damage. That's nice for a turn. We can crew. Swing. I guess we blow up Aftermath Analyst. Down to 12. I mean, it's not impossible that we couldn't do this. Well, it's possible. Okay, what's... Okay, victimize. Okay. They bring back their cards. I mean, the Crater Hoof is scary. It doesn't do anything against us right now because we're so protected. Opponent, did you forget? Opponents, you can't do that damage right now. Okay, so Crater Hoof kind of fizzles. I mean, hilariously, but okay. So is there any way out of this now? 10 things here. Okay, so we can create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Is that an... Oh, actually, hold on. Exile target creature with a mana value X or less. What do we do here? This is kind of a tricky one. Okay, so... Is there a way out of this? Activate 1, draw a card. Scavenger grounds. Not much help there. Sky Sovereign. Okay, they get back all their lands. Not that does really hurts us at this point. At this point, we're just trying to just take out whatever we can. World Shaper. That dies. So that doesn't really trigger off because they already got all their lands back. Down to 4. Okay, so how do we survive the next hit here? Because that Myco Tyrant's the only thing that's gonna hurt us here. Especially because it has trample. Okay. Card is not bad, but we don't need him right now. Okay. So at this point, I don't think it's going to work, but we're going to try something here. Okay, so that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so technically that's lethal there. Okay. So here's how we do this. Okay. Exile a creature with a mana value X or less and make some tokens. Okay. So we need to just go 3. So make the tokens. Okay, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Phew. And then now we can sponge the hit here. Did we get them? Okay, so we just literally just block here. No real value. But I think we managed to get around him. Wow. The Kozilek command just helped us survive the whole thing. Bring down the Myco Tyrant, everybody. And it doesn't matter because we got our first... That's actually a real legit win right there, everybody. All right, we did it. We did it. Yes. Whew. Whew, I thought we were going to lose that one, but yay, we did it. Oh, Cookie, hello. Hey, I haven't seen you for a while. Thanks again for joining us again. How you been? Hopefully having a wonderful weekend wherever you're at. Yay. Whew, actually, I was glad you were there to see it. Oh, man. I was kind of sweating bullets there for a second. I'm like, wait, I don't want the Ancient Tomb to actually kill us, but we were able to pull off a win there. All right. Counter that, opponent. Okay. Okay. Felt better about that one. Whew. Okay. Okay, it's been a while. Yes, I've been having a ton of work and got here at the perfect moment. Yeah, you did. But I still appreciate you stopping by still. Appreciate you still popping in where you can. Try not to overwork yourself there. I will definitely say that right now. As you get older, it just feels like work can get a little bit more stressful. But again, glad to hear from you. Okay, so let's keep the good times rolling, everybody. We're feeling still a good amount of stuff here. In all honesty, though, oh yeah, I got to do that posture check, by the way. Well, while we're waiting for the match, let me stand up for a second there. Then I'll be doing Magic streams as a water ball. Oh, you totally should. You totally should. That'd be actually adorable, by the way. Okay. Okay. Now that we got ourselves stretched out there. Okay, feeling good. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So we got our ruins, wastes. Staff of completion technically can count for a fourth, our fourth land. Okay, so without Fizik, okay, we should be good to go here. We should be good to go. So our opponent playing also Ugin. Oh, we're playing another colorless deck? Huh. I realized we didn't actually put in Ugin ourselves, but I kind of felt like the deck is not geared towards being this because I feel like this, you could put this card in. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'll probably explain why I didn't put this in later on. It just feels like it kind of is counterintuitive to our deck. Because again, we want to focus again on artifact creatures. Ugin is not an artifact creature. He's kind of just an auto win card on its own. But what's hilarious though is because we're colorless also, his ability doesn't actually affect us. So let's see how this goes. I don't know how this is going to go for us versus our opponent, but we'll see. This might be an interesting one. Okay. But before we get there, let's see. Can we do this? So let's see. Tezzeret can come in. We can get down one of our key spells. Okay. Another. All right. So let's get Tezzeret down now. All right. Tezzeret in. Tick down. So this should be just a free option for us here. Let's get down. Get down the Mox Opal. Play the Mox Opal. Loyalty counter comes back. Okay, so let's see here. So once Fizik comes down, Mox Opal will get turned on. So that's helpful too. Oh, they got the Cloud Key. All right, it's a race to the ramp, everybody. Who will get there first? Okay, well, let's get Fizik going. We will put a counter on it already. Nice. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 for now. I know the False Gods can't do anything just yet, but we will get there with it. So this is going to be something we can bank later on once we start building things up. But we need to... Oh, opponents? Already? I mean, yay, but okay, well, I guess our opponent didn't want to play with our deck. But honestly, I think our deck awkwardly has actually the advantage against Ugin because, again, his ability doesn't affect us because we're just, we're colorless ourselves. Okay, free win. But yeah, we've only lost, what is it, 3 times today? And we've won quite a chunk. I think we've won now 7 games. Getting our wins in there. Yeah, we'll take them. We will definitely take them where we can. I ain't going to be complaining about that. Okay, so let's load up the next one here. Okay, so we're fighting against Jace here. Okay, so is it a mill deck? I guess we're playing against mill here. All right. That's cool. Okay, so... Playing against mill. We still have ways of cheapening our plan. We got the Ether Flux Reservoir. That'll be helpful also to stabilize. If we get to 50 life, we can actually beat them down, but we'll see if we can get there. Technically, our plan isn't built for Ether Flux Reservoir. This is more like a, if we get there kind of thing, if that makes sense. All right, hold on. Okay, so Jace, probably a lot of counter spells and a lot of milling shenanigans, but we'll see. Not sure how we can do against a mill deck, if that's what their win con is. Okay, so while our opponent is also trying to take time to figure out their hand here, are we looking forward to the next sets? Did we feel like we're already over Owen Pass / Spider-Man? Let me know, everybody, what your thoughts have been so far on our previous Universes Beyond sets. Opponents? Still thinking it over. He's got to make sure he has the perfect opening hand to beat us here. Whatever they need. Or maybe they went to the restroom. I don't know. Opponents. The timer's now going off. You there? Hello? Opponents. Opponents? Hello? Yoo-hoo. Okay. Is this going to be just a non-game? An extra free win? All right, we'll see. Okay. I don't think they're there. Either that or maybe they got disconnected. I don't know. Who knows? A lot of things can happen. Oh, actually, well, I realize their name says I lag a lot. Oh. Well, that's kind of awkward. Maybe, is that legit their reasoning? Maybe? I don't know. Huh. Okay. Well, if our opponent is going to lag just a bit here, give me 1 second, everybody. Actually, I'm trying to reach a water ball that I cannot get to on my desk here. I'm going to try to grab that real quick. Hold on. Let me reach out for a second here while I wait for our opponent that might not be there. Ooh, okay. Yay. I can hydrate. Okay, I don't think our opponent's there, by the way. All right, I guess it's going to be a free win. Not quite how I want this to go. I mean, obviously, I want to actually get games going, as many as possible. But okay, well, all right, well, I guess we're just getting our free wins today. I can't hate. It does help us get to some more extra free gold, free cards. We're going to need all of that once we get to Avatar. Is anybody looking forward to that set? I am partially. At the very least, Avatar feels like it fits better into Magic versus the Spider-Man set. I think that's going to be something we'll have to talk about in the future video. I am going to try to plan out a couple of non-deck techs for maybe the next couple weeks after our next one comes out, because there's been a lot of things that have been happening over the past month in the game that I know a lot of people are feeling very meh on. But we'll cover that in a bit. Okay, opponent is mulliganing, so they're playing Arwen, so it's a Scry deck. Oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe something to think about for our future budget decks, because we do have a couple more that we want to cover coming up soon when that time comes. Play the Waste. Play our Basilic Collar. Alright. Alright, opponent, what you got? Show me what you got. Forest. Okay, Vexing Bauble as well. Okay, so we'll do it this way. Vexing Bauble. And we'll put down the Arid Archway now. A little counterintuitive for now, but that's okay. We got time. So at least our opponent can't play anything for free for now. Okay. Oh, okay. So they're... Okay, so I guess they're a Scry / Elf deck? This will be an interesting one. Waste. This actually might mean we might have to bring in Kozilek Command quick here. First, let's get our Foundry Inspector so we can cheapen things. So that's 1, 2, 3 mana. This will be 4. Lightstone and Weakstone actually might be better. I don't know. The Crown Vision. Oh, okay. Okay, so we definitely can't have them go off in a moment here, so we're going to have to start dealing with this. Okay, scroll and crawler. That's actually good too. But Might Zone and Weak Snow has to come down now. Alright, -5. Priest is gone. Sorry, opponent. Denied. Thank you, everybody. Okay, and in the meantime, let's play the crawler. No attacks. Now we can start pinging our opponent here. Sure, we will give them cards, but that'll be a small price to pay, because if they start playing Leaf Crown, and they want to start drawing cards, that will hurt them a lot. Okay. Can we get there? Okay, Arwen coming in. Do they draw? They do. Ping away. Okay, they do get to scry. And that means they'll put a +1/+1 counter on Arwen. Okay. I have not seen anybody play this card, but it does intrigue me. Okay, we'll both draw a card. Okay, well, Forsaken Monument's good too. And Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Okay. So we have options here, and now this means our ramp is going to be a lot here to work with. So this is beautiful. Alright. And now we're getting our game plan going here. Ornithopter Paradise. We're doing it. We're going off. Soul Cauldron. Alright. We will exile that. Thank you, opponents. No attacks yet. This is actually hilarious here, because now this actually adds mana for each elf on the battlefield. Not even just them, but also we can actually use it ourselves. That is hilarious, by the way. Okay, Marwyn the Nourisher. Okay. We're going to have to get rid of Marwyn, too. Their ramp package is crazy good right now. Okay. It's going to go on Marwyn. Yep. So that means we need to slow this down quick. But we do have a lot of powerful pieces on the board already. And considering our opponent's playing Simic, I don't know if they have what they need to stop us. Okay, waste. Wayfarer's Wobble for free. Oh, wait. Oh, I realize I just kind of messed myself up there. I just countered my own spell. Whoops. You didn't see that. Any case, I'll have to do this at instant speed, though. So, we'll scry and exile. Marwyn's got to go. Okay, and then we get it that heralds the end. Scavenger. Okay. Okay, draw a card there. Cool. Okay, so that's gone. It that heralds the end. Need some more life. We will put counters on stuff. And
Oh, and there we go, everybody. Our opponent already, once again, has had enough of our plan there.
Whew, for a second, I'm like, wait, am I getting too greedy here?
No, we got them. We got them. We blew up their plan there
Before they can go off. Okay.
Colorless, everybody. Counter that, opponents.
Okay. We got our... Okay, we got a little bird there. Cute.
Okay, so still doing good, everybody. We've actually been, for the past, what is it now? For the past week, our past 2-3 streams, we've actually had a lot more wins now, realistically. You were the lucky charm, Cookie. You just might be. We were actually doing pretty good already, but you've also helped us make sure we don't lose here. So, yeah, let's see if we can keep that win streak going still.
But seriously, though, for those of you who haven't been with me for the past couple of streams, we've actually been getting a pretty decent amount of win streaks recently.
Seems like over the summer we were kind of struggling a little bit on trying to get wins, but
so far our recent budget decks have been actually performing a lot better than I was expecting it to. Oh. Our opponent didn't want to face us?
Okay.
Well, I guess that's just non-game. Not a big deal. But yeah, right now we've been having a pretty... It feels like I have a really good aura around me about getting our games going here. But before I get ahead of myself, friendly reminder, if you do like any of the budget content that we do, we're getting near the last quarter of the stream, everybody. But if you do like what we're doing, you can see on the screen right now, again, show some love. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are watching my content, whether you're watching on X or YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram. We'd be more than happy to see you wherever you are at, everybody. And again, to show additional love, we do have some bonus videos we're going to be adding up to Patreon little by little when I have some time. We'll be happy to do that for you guys. Some bonus gameplay, maybe some bonus non-Magic content that you usually don't get on the main channel. We'll start trying to do some more unique streams when we can, beyond just this, if you are interested. And again, even if you don't want to do any of that, if you just want to show some love, you can also join our Discord, which will have links for all of that in the details of this video once we're done. Any and all support that you can provide for me helps keep this channel going. And all links, of course, will be in the details below. We got the Ancient Tomb off the start there with Mindstone. Whew, that's a strong start. Oh, we're playing against Ugin again? Huh, okay. Sure, why not? Darksteel Citadel. We'll throw down Fizik now. Alright, and pass there. We also have Tezzeret coming too. Yeah, I guess you're right, Koki. Alright, the Filigree Silex. This might be a problem for us, but we'll see. Getting ourselves there just a smidge. Small price to pay, but not a big deal. Oh, hold on. Hold on. So while we get this going here. No. No spam, please. Let's see. All right, so we'll throw down Roadside Reliquary. We'll throw down Market Backwalker for 1, but that's fine. We will build this up quick. Loyalty counter. Tick down. Let's get out for free our Opal. So get that ramp package going. Pumps up Tezzeret here. Counters on stuff. There we go. All right, we're building out our plan. It's working. Okay, they're trying to get their ramp going because they got the Celestis. Okay. Karn Legacy Reforged. Okay, that's also sweet as well. Karn coming down. Yeah. Oh, opponents. Okay, they put an oil counter. That's fine. Another counter on Tezzeret there. Tick down again. We want to start using this as much as we can to start ramping out everything. Let's see, but what do we want though? What do we want? Oh, this one's a tricky one. Let's get the Hanger Backwalker. We can get that. Pay the 2, or actually pay the 1. And then counters on stuff. Market Backwalker hitting hard. Alright, opponents, the clock is ticking. Although that Filigree may hurt us a bit there, because that could blow up a couple of key pieces. It won't be too bad just yet. Okay, they got their own Karn, but they're making the Power Stone one. The one that's kind of like the weakest one. But hey, alright, if it works for our opponent, it works for our opponent. Okay, so in the meantime, now we really got to start ramping this up quick. Okay, we get a ton of mana here. Maybe. Opponents. Opponents. You have an answer? Nope. I'll take that. Mishra's Bauble. Bobbling. Ooh. Do they cast it yet? Not yet. Loyalty counter again. Idol of the False Gods. Might as well use a ball or a free mana. We will sacrifice to draw a card. Come on, deck. Ooh, the One Ring will be great for later on. Let's get a peek at what our opponent's trying to draw here. Okay, so Transmutation Font. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Nesting Grounds. We can use this then. Might as well put a counter on it. We can... More counters. We're just going off here. And then... Let's see. Is there anything else we wanted? Or I guess we could tick down again. Okay, might as well. We might as well just do this while we can. And let's see here. Oh, okay. Yes, we're getting our wins in. Yes. Yeah. We cannot be stopped. We were just going to go off there. Man. Oh, man. This has been a good one so far. We are just riding high today. I thought our last stream we were riding high, but this one's also just as good. Kind of a shame we're not ranking up. I would love to rank up with this deck. But maybe, yeah, feeling pretty good overall. Cookie, gotta go. Sorry, stuff to do. You're playing very well, though. Good luck. Well, thank you again for stopping by, Cookie. And I'm really happy to have seen that you are still popping in where you can. I know you're busy, but again, have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Hopefully we'll see you again on stream when you pop in again. And always be sure to burn bright. Later. Okay, so getting the nice little blessing from our resident fiery friend here. Let's see if we can keep, again, that good time going, everybody. We are planning on ending the stream probably in the next, like, about 20-25 minutes, everybody, just to kind of give everybody a little bit of a heads up. Meaning being, again, and I always mention this as always, as much as I love to stream, unfortunately, we don't always have all the time in the world, but we try to squeeze in what we can. So these little streams, again, are what I can do to just provide a little bit more interaction with all of you that like to watch my videos. So thank you, everybody, for popping up today. Okay, Prismatic Vista. All right. So let's see. Our opponent's playing Vigo. Okay, so this is another one of those Omen Path cards. I don't remember what card this is, but Mech Hanger, Iron Apprentice. Okay, and we'll pass. Let's see. Hanger Popper can come down on turn 2. We can go right into Fizik, and we can start pumping everything up. Hopefully that should be enough. Right? Hopefully. Okay, opponents. So this means, what are they trying to do here? Okay, so they're a Jund Sacrifice deck. I see. Okay. Trying to figure stuff out here. Alright, Hanger Backwalker. Down to 23. Okay, Fizik can come in. Actually have a pretty good curve here. Okay, opponents. Harrow. Okay, so they're sacrificing a land to get their other lands in. Okay, getting the ramp going just like we are. Oh, opponents? Terra Sunder. Oh, that's annoying. So we don't even get a Thought Drop of that? That's a shame. No big deal, though. It's fine. We can still make it work, everybody. Let's play Tezzeret. I know he's going to get blown up and shot on sight, so we might as well take him down just to at least get out some ramp. So as always, we'll go to our same plan here. Get out the Mishra's Bauble. It's literally a free roll for our deck. Put a counter on him. Counter 22. Okay, so little by little, we're making a ramp work for us. Ignoble Hierarch. Okay, opponents. Swamp. Alright, so is this... Okay, Shieldred's coming in. Scary card, by the way. But it's not the worst for us. So let's bring in Fizik now. Alright, Loyalty counter again. We will play Wayfarer's Bauble. Another counter. I don't think Tezzeret's going to survive much longer, so we might as well get in another piece that we might need here. Let's get out Shadow Spear. At least with that can help us gain life back. Because with Shieldred out, that's not fun. Okay, so opponent, what you got? Show me what you got. Okay, so Vigo coming in. They swing. And although we can block it technically, it's not going to be enough. So we might as well just let that go. Oh, they sacrificed Shieldred. Wow. I'm pretty sure they have a way of reanimating that. Ugh. That might not be good. Okay, opponents. We get a land out. Obviously, we're not going to block here. So as I figured, Tezzeret was going to go bye-bye. But at least we got the value out of him. As much as possible. Okay, Ornithopter Paradise. Can't bring in Karn yet, but we are getting close. So let's just keep our ramp package going while we can. We'll do this now. Let's get another basic. Pump stuff up. Swing here. Down to 22. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have a decent amount of mana. We have enough where the battleship actually might be able to then... Oh, we got the portal. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. So that does set us back a turn. But all things considered... Oh, they actually sacrificed that too. Wow, our opponent's just going all in on their commander here. I mean, so be it if they have to. Okay, they sacrificed Bloodstained Mire. We can still bring in Card Reforge, though. Okay, Citadel. Alright, so we got to rebuild here. Ornithopter Paradise. Let's actually just get everything ramped out first. Shadow Spear. Vexing Bauble. And pass. Okay, so they're going to start reanimating stuff. So that means what? Shielder comes back? Of course. So the only way we're going to have to deal with this now is we have to exile stuff. It's the only way we can get out of this. Extinguisher Battleship sounded okay at first, but that doesn't do enough damage. We need something else that blows up everything. So where's... We need Ugin. Oh, alright. Well, they definitely now have the best options here.
Not good.
Old Rustine. Okay. Milling stuff. They destroy our creature. Okay. I think our best option here might be destroying the portal to Phyrexia. Tear the Peaks. Okay. So this might be the turn. Okay. Fountain Port. Okay, so we're going to have to do this here now. Alright, so what do we blow up here? This is actually really important. Portal of Phyrexia will just keep bringing stuff back. Dictate of Erebos will force ourselves to get something up.
Oh, jeez.
This is not good no matter what. We're in a bad spot, but it's okay. Take out the portal. But at least we blew up the other creatures that they cannot bring back. Okay, Dictate doesn't do anything there, but that's fine. Okay. Board's technically clear, but we're not out of this yet. We're still got a ways to go here. Our opponent has a much stronger control over our board. Okay, Rakdos. Ow. Okay. Yikes. Okay, so that means Honest Rustine comes back, okay. So that cheapens their creature casting. Okay. That brings back Terror of the Peaks. Wow. Dang, we even blew up the whole board with a Wrath, though, and it just was not enough. Okay, we'll give it one more turn. If we don't get what we need on this next turn here, we're pretty much dead. Okay, opponent swings. And that means they could sacrifice their creature again for more value. Okay. So, they got the Gruul Signets. Alright. Are we dead? We're down to 2. With not really anything else to do. Okay, Nettle Cyst. I mean, that's not like dead. But, let's see. I mean, 2 options here is not horrible. Wait, can I quit this? Wait. Hold on. Station. Can I equip this anything? Oh, no, I can't. Okay. Dang, I'm missing like 1 mana to stabilize here. Oh, man. Alright, I guess we lost. Even if we did block everything there, the Rakdos ability would just kind of blow us up there, so... We came close, though. We came really close. It's okay, though, everybody. We actually haven't lost that much today, so I'm still pretty good about everything overall. Let's just keep this going. Let's see. Looking at the clock right now, 1 or 2 more games, everybody. 1 or 2 more. And then that means that's going to be it for today. I still appreciate everyone that has been watching today. Thank you so much, everybody. Even if you haven't been saying anything in the chats, that's totally cool. I appreciate you guys just lurking, and still appreciate y'all just the same. Your support is what helps me keep this going. I also forgot to mention, like, if you haven't already voted already, please vote on our latest poll that we have up. We have a poll up that's currently asking everyone, if you're interested, we might actually do in the future like a couple of bonus streams when we can. Might be able to squeeze in a little extra time and do some non-Magic the Gathering streams. I don't know. Maybe we'll do like a retro video game stream or something like that. If you're interested, vote on that below in on the channel page. I want to see if you guys, and I want to gauge to see, like, is that something that some of you are interested in? I mean, if you're not interested, that's totally fine. But I am curious to know, like, is there enough interest for me to actually do that? I know the algorithm with YouTube might hurt us on that, but I think if nothing else, we might do that for, like, the live content. Then we might convert that over to, like, a members-only bonus stream. So in other words, it'll be up for live for the time being. Oh, wait, hold on. It'll be up. Oh, our opponent didn't want to wait for us. Sorry, opponents. Sorry. But anyway, as I was saying, so if you want to see non-Magic content, just vote below. If you don't want to see that, again, same thing, just leave your vote behind. I would love to hear from you guys what your interests are, everybody. Because again, I do enjoy playing Magic content. There have been a moment or two like, I wonder what would have happened if I actually played a different game. But again, I don't want to do anything that hurts the channel. But I would like to see, like, if there's any curiosity on that part. Until then, though, play our waste into Ozlith. Okay, opponent is playing Drafna, founder of Lotnam. Let's see, so it's another artifact deck. Huh. A lot of mono blue artifact decks recently. Okay, Manifold Key. Are they going to try to pull off a combo here that I don't know of? I guess we'll find out soon. Wayfarer's Bauble. Okay. Okay, so that means we have now 3 mana out. Nettlesis can actually do some damage there. Oh. Okay, well that's annoying. It locks it out. Wow. The Gold Saucer. Okay. Well, we gotta do what we gotta do. Weakest subjugate. Okay, wow. I was not expecting that at all. Does that mean our opponent's going to try to tap down our stuff? Oh, yeah, they are. Okay, well, it's not like we can't get around this. We still can. I'm not giving up. Okay, get that waste in. Alright, well, might as well swing. Down to 24. Okay, so we also have a Nettlesis as well. That might still also be something to help us out. Okay, Drafna. So that means that, okay. This is going to try to forcefully bounce away our artifacts. Nettlecyst. No attacks yet. Okay, so let's see. Crashing Drawbridge. Opponent's probably not going to swing yet. Workshop Assistant. Okay. Dawnsire. Still trying to figure out this one, because I think our opponent probably has the right plan to actually beat us down, because if their ability is what I see here, well, they commandeer us. So, they steal our artifact. So they're going to try to be very annoying here and just trying to beat down our stuff. We'll swing here regardless. Do they just... I don't like where this is going, by the way. Because I could see, again, if they just keep bouncing artifacts, we're just going to have a hard time just putting anything down. I'm going to give this a shot, though. Just one shot. Down to 20. Okay. So every artifact we play, we're just going to get messed with whenever at the worst possible moment. Okay, and then that means they can untap certain artifacts here. Okay, station. Okay. Okay, Cloud Key. Okay. Well, that cheapens things out, so that's not bad, right? On artifacts. Workshop Assistant. Okay. Swinging. Alright, so I guess we're just going to have to fall back on our good old game plan of just, you know, beating down what we can. Block the drawbridge. Down to 14. Okay. Well, not in a horrible spot. I'm just antsy they're going to start bouncing our artifacts, and it's going to completely mess with our game plan here. Sleep magic. Okay. I suppose I could just move the Nettlecyst to another creature. It's not a problem for us. Huh. Okay, Blink Moth Nexus. That's cute. Okay, Reservoir. Our opponent is out of cards, though. They can bounce stuff away. Move the Nettlecyst. Okay, opponent, do you have an answer? Okay, so at the very least that helps us out a little bit there. Okay. Opponent, do we block? Okay, they do block there. Okay, so they're gonna... Wait, are they doing their thing yet? Waiting for it. Come on, opponents. I know you want to do it, and it's gonna be very annoying to do this. There it is. Down to 13. Okay, so... Do they start copying it? Can we just force our way through this? I'm hoping we can. Okay, do they pay? Yep, there it is. Okay, so... We technically can get around it, though. Blink Moth Nexus might be our best option for this. Okay. Anything else about it? Nothing yet. Okay. Staff of Completion. Oh, okay. That might be helpful. Let's get the Mystic Forge down. Gain some life. This also counterbalances with Staff of Completion, with the life pinging we would do to ourselves. Okay, so Staff of Completion. Gains us some more life. We can draw a card, pay 4. Alright, so... Alright, well, we're gonna have to go swinging here. We gotta keep blowing up those tokens. We can't afford for them to just overrun us with a bunch of drawbridges. That's gonna be so stupid. But we actually do have a way of getting around this. So the way we're gonna get around this is... Once we untap next turn, I think we can pull this off. Okay, so... Let's see. Stock up. Okay. We're trying to get back into this fight. Okay. Opponents. Those auras are annoying, though. But I do have a way around it. So, the game plan right now. Blink Moth Nexus. We turn it on. We attach to it the Nettlecyst. That should be enough to hopefully beat our opponent down and hopefully get a win. But it all comes down to what our opponent's going to try to do here. If they tap out with drawbridges... We might be able to do it. Oh. Well, that's going to be super annoying. Okay, so... Palladium Mirror. Okay. That's actually not bad. Okay. I think our best solution here is now just to get really, really aggro. Okay, so I think we can pull this off here. Okay, opponent. Trying to turn on the Dawnsire. It's close, but not enough. Okay, so... Activate here. Get rid of that land. Okay, Scrawling Crawler. Okay, so I think... Let's draw another card. We're just going to use up our life right now. Got to use that resource while we can. Okay, so... Off the top. Okay. Nice, we got a bauble. Just trying to get that count up. Okay, so I think... Turn this on. We will Nettle Cyst onto here. And I think that might be game. Opponent, do you have an answer? I mean, obviously they don't. But they know already. It's coming. Okay, so in that case then... Scrawling Crawler. And that is the final artifact. That should get us now Xaxes to win. Yes, we got there. Whew, just in time too. All right, this will be it, everybody. The finale is here. You know what? Let's throw in one more artifact while we're on top of it right here. Back up to 24. Uggin's Labyrinth. No real value. We just want to throw it in just because we can. And there, everybody, is how we do it. All right. You know what? Let's get some life back on that one. Why not? Opponents. Yes, you can get everything haste. It doesn't matter because the victory goes to us. Yeah. All right. Woo! What a way to end it, everybody. There we go. We were able to get them before they can kind of get their shenanigans to go off. Whew. I thought we were going to be cooked there for a moment. Once they turn on the Dawnsire, I was going to start getting a little worried there, but we managed to outdo them. Okay, so with that, everybody, that's going to be ending it for today. But again, as always, we need to do a quick little wrap-up before we continue on. So let's go ahead, let's talk briefly about the decks. So that was, let me open our pack real quick. All right, so look, it's 3 cards. Why not? All right, wild card, nice. And what do we get? Demira, Soul Spider. Okay, yeah, more spider cards. Okay, hey, cards are cards. I'll take the free stuff. But any case, so that was our counter this deck, everybody. And you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? I mean, whether you want to call it as Fizik in Arena or if you're going to call it Iron Spider in paper, I actually did like the deck. It didn't do too bad in budget form. We managed to get our wins in. We got a lot of counters on stuff once we started getting the ball rolling. Keep in mind, however, it can feel a little slow because we don't have any ways of accelerating the counters because we're colorless. But that's not a bad thing. We have a couple ways of supplementing that. So we didn't get to see the Hanger Backwalker shenanigans go off. But if this goes off, we have a nice go wide strategy to help us out there. We also have Market Backwalker also as a nice way to kind of refuel our hand. Fizik's ability, we didn't get a good chance again to use it too often, but it still works really well when you just need to just start pulling out some counters. It's a good way to do it when you anticipate your opponent's going to just blow up a creature. You might as well just pluck the counters off of that creature just to help draw some more cards and keep refueling. Overall, I'm satisfied with how the deck turned out. As far as the non-budget one, I like it. Maybe I might tweak a couple more things on it, but again, it really kind of depends on how you want to play it. If you want to do more high-end artifact stuff, like in the 6 and 7 drop, I mean, there's still a lot of options here. There were some things that we kind of skipped upon, but it kind of really depends on how you want to build it. So, for example, if you want to shut off enemy planeswalkers, you have Immortal Sun. If you want to do that, more card draw there. Chromatic Orrery here can also help you out. Chroma's Memorial, if you want to make sure you have a way of protecting yourself against select decks out there. Wormcoil Engine, also another great option for you here. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. Chimil here can just help you start getting free stuff. But what I'm saying is, don't feel like our list today was the end-all be-all for an upgrade. You have a lot of ways of kind of mixing and matching, really depending on how you want to build the deck. Again, I could have put in Ugin. I didn't want to, though, because the real reason why was it just feels like the deck feels like it's more focused on just Ugin, not the counter package. So that's the reason why I didn't want to do Ugin. If you feel like this is going to be a better way to kind of give you emergency safety valve, just a win con you want, hey, throw it in if you want to. I'm not going to shame you if you do. But again, for me personally, it felt a little disingenuous if we brought this in a deck that's mostly focused on just trying to put counters and artifact creatures out there. But again, your call on that one. I mean, if you want something to kind of hose your opponent, you can also do things like Platinum Angel, making yourself unable to lose the game versus them winning. Other cards that are colorless, if you care about, again, Summon Bahamut, Portal to Pyrexia, Cityscape Lover. Again, you have plenty of options for you in colorless. But this, again, was mostly focused on artifact creatures, so that's why I omitted the cards that I did today. But again, your call how you want to do it, everybody. I will leave, of course, those links, of course, once we're done here in a little bit. So those will be up if you do want to take any one of our decks for a spin. But before we go, one final thing. If you made it this far into the stream, thanks again for hanging in there for just a little bit longer, my true fiery friends. You'll get a chance to see what are we building for the future. So basically, Margot, we've talked about this earlier in the week. But again, this will be our next ultra budget deck. Again, this series that we've done, the Basically series, no rares or mythics needed to build these awesome budget builds. And they can be pretty fun and pretty powerful if your opponents are not expecting it. If you were to equate this to, I guess, like something in actual paper, I guess these would be considered, what is it, bracket 1 decks? So there can be nice little simple decks if you actually want to just try something that's a little bit more lower power to have some fun with. Beyond that, our other next deck, I'm working on what I'm calling right now, it's tentative. I know the name sounds a little goofier, but copy and paste. So this is going to be another deck. I know I keep mentioning back and forth, like, I don't want to really do Omen Path cards, but I'm still trying to do an honest, fair shot at trying to give any one of them we may have skipped over a chance to at least shine maybe once or twice. This is another card from the Omen Paths that I thought, you know what, we can build something around this. And it's been a while since we've done a Simic deck, so I wanted to jump back into that. So this Human Scientist villain, Drunith here, leading a deck that's trying to copy stuff and make a bunch of extra stuff just for value for days. So we're still trying to play around with that one. That might come up mostly more towards the end of the month. I do want to try to do some more Halloween themed decks on stream, so that's going to be coming up in the future. And then near the end of the month, I might do some commentary videos away from deck techs for just a little bit, because there's a lot of stuff that's been happening in the game that I know a lot of people are concerned about. Some people absolutely hate. Just, again, Magic right now is all over the place. I know Universes Beyond has been the hot topic, but we'll address that in our own video coming up soon. So that's going to be up on the horizon. Beyond that, we'll probably start getting, by the end of the month, our spoilers coming up for Avatar. So I'm excited for that. I know some of you are not, but hopefully this set will be a lot better than the Spider-Man set that we got. Leave comments below again, everybody. What do you want to see for upcoming decks? If you have ideas for cards that you'd like to see, I would love to hear from you about stuff. So I'm always open to any and all ideas. But otherwise, until then, that's going to be it for today, everybody. One final shout out to everybody that has been here today. So thanks again to the chat for Speed Monkey Gaming for popping in for a little bit there. I still appreciate you doing so. Cookie, I know you're not there anymore, but again, thank you so much for popping again, my fiery friend. I'm really happy to hear from you again. I know you're always busy, but anytime you can pop up, I appreciate you. For those of you that pop up on other sites, again, shout outs to Luis Diaz 040 over on Instagram there. And again, we also have Nico Bolas MTG and known me Rob. Sorry if I messed that up. But again, those of you on Instagram there, shout out to you guys. If you're watching on other platforms like X, I'm sorry I can't see you guys on the chat there, but I'm gonna see if I can try to get another, if I have to, I can get out my other laptop. Maybe I might try to get that going so I can try to see if anybody's chatting on there that I have missed. So again, apologies if you're on X and I don't see you on there, but I still appreciate you guys popping in just the same. Either way, that's gonna be it for today, everybody. Thank you one more time to everybody. We're going to try to do another stream. I think Wednesday afternoon is what we're going to be looking at for the next one. So stick around for that one. As always, I'll make an announcement across socials. But until then, just again as a friendly reminder, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again next week, everybody. Later.